One of the hardest things that we have in law enforcement when we get into a critical incident such as an active shooter or a mass casualty event is the fact that we now know, and we have learned over the last few years, that we have to press to the threat. And every second that threat is active, in other words, every round that you hear, that's a life being lost. And the longer you wait, the longer an officer waits, it's immeasurable how many lives are going to be lost in that extended period of time.
Possible active shooter, still firing rounds.
So about 2 years ago, our department identified a need that there's a better way to respond to criminal mass casualty incidents. And I got together with Sergeant Jack Rosenthal and Sergeant H.J. Waples at the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. We developed what is called a rescue task force that we've implemented here in the Spokane Valley.
We need to work in harmony. We needed to come together and find a way that we can each provide that life-saving capacity in the most effective and integral way. And the Rescue Task Force was that.
We did not want to be a liability for any of these law enforcement officers. We're going into their world. This is an opportunity for us to go in and operate in that warm zone and not sit 2 blocks out on a fire engine waiting for law enforcement to come back and say it's all clear.
We understood what we needed to do, and we worked in great relationships with the Spokane Valley Fire Department over the last 2 years, and today we're very successful with a very accomplished and well-trained rescue task force.
And together we fleshed out a training program that we thought was going to build a foundation for our team members to effectively and safely operate and integrate with law enforcement in the event that we have a criminal mass casualty incident or an active shooter in our community.
The comforting part now that we have this rescue task force premise and this training and this ability, is that we now know that even though we're pressing past that threat, those people are going to be rescued because there's qualified medical tactical combat casualty care, otherwise known as CCC, coming in right on our heels, and those people are going to be treated, triaged, and brought to a casualty collection point where they're going to experience even further medical aid, and therefore we're saving the lives.
Yeah, the basic premise here is that we get trained medical providers to the patients at the point of wounding in the timeliest fashion possible.
Seconds count in immeasurable amounts of lives saved. And knowing that if an officer, if one of our fellow brothers or sisters goes down while we're going to that threat to accomplish our mission, we know that that rescue task force is close behind us and that person will be saved.
The opportunity to do the training with the Sheriff's Office and develop this rescue task force and the team's integration into the local law enforcement community has built a tremendous relationship between police and fire in our community. We're very similar, and it's just that one wears a fire helmet and the other wears a gun belt.
And working with the fire department in such a close proximity, in such a harmonious way, it enabled us to understand and for them to understand that we have the same mission, we have the same goal in what we're trying to do. We just operate it from a different point of view and with different tools. And when you put those 2 departments together to form one task, it's force multiplying. You're accomplishing so much more, so much faster, and with so much more efficiency that you really are, just by the simple fact of coming together, saving lives every second that you're there.
In the eventuality it occurs in our community, we are in the best position possible to respond in the most effective and efficient fashion to do the most good in the shortest amount of time for these people that may be victims.
We have several down in the conference room, several down, several medical aid.